Um, I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. He will never leave. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It is quite common to see, in instances where an abusive relationship is being spoken about in detail in the media, that many people in the comments state, the moment he or she hit me, I'd have been out of there. I wouldn't have put up with that. I'd have been gone the first time that it happened. These comments, of course, are invariably issued by people who have not been involved in such relationships and don't understand the dynamic that takes place. They don't understand what it's like to have been involved with somebody who has made you feel like a king or queen, that has come along and has, as part of their need to control you, showered you with praise, made you out to be an amazing, wonderful human being, placed you on a pedestal, given you a fantastic time, perhaps lots of delicious, mind-blowing sex, praised you, mirrored you, entertained you, made you feel so special, made you feel supported, so that you fell very much in love with this person and truly believed that you had met someone utterly amazing that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. Then, as that seduction gave way to a sustained devaluation, you found yourself being abused, although you might not have recognized that that was what was actually going on. You may have just thought that this person's sudden change in behaviors was the fault of something that you had done or failed to have done, or that they were struggling as a consequence of external pressures at work, not sleeping, perhaps being worried about money. That you didn't realize, of course, that you were dealing with a narcissist and that you were now within the narcissistic dynamic. You didn't walk away from the first instance of abuse because you perhaps thought, well, you deserved it. Or you didn't walk away from that first instance of abuse because, well, I've said vows for better, for worse, although failing to understand that for worse doesn't mean being abused. That the individual remained because they thought that they could solve the problem, that they wanted to get back to the heady days of the golden period, that they wanted to experience all of that wonderful, edifying, scintillating initial period, and were of the firm belief that they could get back there again. And lo and behold, a respite period comes along, giving them false hope that this can be achieved. Those that condemn individuals for remaining in an abusive relationship regularly fail to understand how the dynamic works, how the manipulations are so effective, how the victim remains trapped as a consequence of the application of emotional thinking to warp their sense of logic. The Mirror by Chloe Stewart reports on the fact that Prince Harry has an obsessive love for this one's wife and that he will never leave her. Is that correct? Well, when it comes to the narcissistic dynamic between a narcissist and an intimate partner primary source, the spouse, which is what Harry is, there are three routes available. The first and the most common is the narcissist disengages from the victim. They get rid of them. And there are various reasons why that happens. Secondly, sometimes the victim escapes. This is much rarer, but it does occur. It might take a long time, years, even decades before that happens, but it does occur. And the third route is that neither disengagement nor escape occurs, and there is just a roller coaster. There is abuse, then a respite period, the abuse through the sustained devaluation, and then the respite period, up and down, up and down, up and down, and on it goes. Thus, to say that Harry will never leave her, well, it might be that that's unlikely to happen, but you can't say for certainty he will never leave her, as there is the possibility that he will suddenly realise that he's being abused and that it's time to get out, that he will no longer tolerate the behaviours, that he wishes to protect himself, perhaps protect his children, and decides the marriage would end. That's certainly less likely than disengagement, a lot less likely. But to say he'll never leave her would not be accurate. Nevertheless, the article reports Prince Harry will never leave this one's wife, as he has an obsessive kind of love for her, i.e., it's driven by emotional thinking. And they have a good, strong marriage, an expert has claimed. Well, we can pause there. They don't. No marriage with a narcissist is a good marriage. It's an oxymoron. It'll be good for the narcissist, because the narcissist is able to gain control, draw fuel, get character traits and residual benefits. The narcissist always gets what they require. Externally, it might look like a good marriage because of facade management. But no marriage with a narcissist is ever good, because the victim will always, repeat, always, experience a sustained devaluation, meaning they will be subjected to unpleasant behaviours of some form or another. The extent of the devaluation, its depth and the level of hurt applied varies from narcissist to narcissist, but the sustained devaluation always occurs. The expert also shared that this one's wife will happily stay with Harry as long as she is in control, which is partially correct. Royal expert Ingrid Seward explained, "I think Harry has got an obsessive love for this one's wife. I don't think he will ever leave her. She is in control, and I think as long as she is in control, she is happy." Well, as you know from my work, narcissists don't do happy, but this one's wife will give the outward appearance of that being the case for the purposes of facade management. Ingrid Seward added to The Sun, "I think the marriage is good." It isn't. And they're very happy. They're not. Who wouldn't be happy living in that gorgeous house with 2 lovely children? Well, the fact is, the narcissist is never happy because we don't do happiness, and Harry's not going to be happy because he'll be repeatedly devalued. Ingrid's comments come after Harry and this one's wife were seen putting on an amorous display over the weekend. The loved-up duo were in Wellington, Florida, filming for one of their Netflix shows, which will lift the curtain on one of the world's most exclusive sports, polo. That amorous display was entirely facade management from the point of view of this one's wife. She kissed Harry, thus asserting control over him and making it look to the outside world that they're very much in love. Seward explained, "The couple famously have previous when it comes to polo kissing. In 2018, they were locking lips at a similar event. Facade management, assertion of control, directly over Harry, and it's easy to spot some intrinsic differences in their way of handling this very traditional royal PDA. Back in 2018, Harry, looking all fired up and full of passion after hammering around on the polo field, planted a very sexy kiss on this one's wife's lips, giving the kiss a get-a-room quality. His expression was serious, and he looked lost in the moment as he turned his head, but kept his torso facing front. This one's wife tilted her head back in the same neck-bearing gesture of submission that Diana used when she kissed Charles on their wedding day. The polo trophy looked irrelevant, and they almost had to be reminded it was supposed to be handed over. Then, touching on the couple's recent loved-up display at the sporting match, Judy, it would appear that they've brought in the supposed, Judy James, the body language expert, who invariably always gets it wrong because she doesn't realise that this one's wife is a narcissist. But she said that their newest polo kiss shows the love is still there, but it is much sweeter, more fun PDA performed with both their hands on the trophy prize. The side view of their faces show both have raised and rounded cheeks here, making it a smiling kiss that suggests good humour and higher levels of sociability than they showed when they appeared lost in the moment back in 2018. She concluded by saying, "It's Harry craning his neck here, and this one's wife's heels make her able to kiss at a more even angle. The body language is more mirrored here, illustrating the levels of like-minded synchronicity that has grown over the years." Horseshit. Once again, a body expert getting it completely wrong because she doesn't understand narcissism. What you're actually seeing is a narcissist controlling the intimate partner primary source victim by kissing him, in effect, flattery, and managing the facade to the outside world of saying, this is an idyllic marriage. It's got nothing to do with synchronicity. It's got nothing to do with the cheeks. It's got nothing to do with showing how alike they are. In Harry's kiss comes from a genuine place of emotional empathy. This one's wife is manufactured, as it always is, because of a narcissist, for the pursuit of the prime aims. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.